Hey guys, welcome back to the Pelatis video guide series. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create an API on this platform. So if you remember in the previous video, I showed you how to create the controller part of the application. I mean the client policy of an application. So let's just head straight to that client policy. So over here, you can see in the previous video, we discussed all the syntax of this client policy, and in this video I'm going to specifically talk about this ms get weather data.bto. So this ms get weather data.bto is basically an API that I have already created on the platform, but I'll be showing you basically how to create that API again. So this API, you saw that this API just fetches the result and the weather result and just assigns it to the weather result variable over here, and then we assign it to the scope.weather.temp variable and show it in the view. So let's just head straight to how to create this API. So I'm just gonna navigate to scripts, and under scripts click on route. Okay, it opened up on different window, so let's just cross it. And yeah, so over here you can see the list of all the APIs on this platform that different applications are using. So you can see over here that ad servers is another application, mi is another application, user sign up is another application that is using this these APIs. So over here at the top you can see get weather data API that is being used by our weather application. So let's just create a new route. So over here a beautiful form opens up. So you have to just fill this form and the API will be created for you by the platform, and it will be incorporated in the existing APIs and you have to just call it. So you don't have to you don't have to import it anywhere, right? You just have to directly call it. You don't have to mention it in the app.route like that, like you do it in the local system. That's what we call serverless, right? If you know what is serverless, or if you don't know, then Google it. So that's what serverless technology is. You have to write just the core of the application, the core of the API, and that's it. So just mention the name of the API. So in our case it's get weather data, so I had already created that, that's why it's showing it in the Chrome suggestion. So this is get weather data, and then path will be automatically created by the platform. That's the beauty of it, and a lot of things are automated for us. And then click on active. Yes, we want it to be active. And method, is it post or get? So it's a get method because we are fetching the weather data. And is it core ms site API ms-v2? So basically core is just the core. So we create all the core APIs that belong to the platform, and we mention as core type of router to that API. And then ms is the microservice API. So when we want anything publicly open, we use microservice API in here. So that's the use case. And site API is for fetching the static data, static content like HTML images, like that. And API is basically get weather data is like an API, right? It does not belong to the core, the platform. So it belongs to an application. MSV2 MSV2 is basically another version of writing this API. So there's a little bit of syntax change in writing an API. So we won't be bothering about this MSV2 in this video. So we'll be just so in my case I'll be just showing you MS API. That's it. And description, just write the description. What does this API does? So it fetches the weather data from third party API, sorry, party API. So is it secure? No, we don't want it to be secured. So if we do core, I mean, if we do core, then yeah, it should be secured. But if it is publicly available, and you can just call this API from the Postman to test it, right? And then just so I'll be naming it weather v2 because already I have created get weather data. So let's just create it. Let's see what happens. See what just happened. The path what the path was automatically filled over here, and method is get active secured. We don't want it to be secured, and so the platform automatically makes a secure API. And so over here you can see the boilerplate code is automatically created for us. We don't have to write this again and again. So basically this is uh, the syntax of the platform that we have to follow in order to make our APIs functioning. So over here you can just see module.exports.get weather data v2. So it's a function that will be incorporated to the existing APIs, and it will be when you save it, when you make any change. Suppose I just do a comment and I just save it, so the changes will be saved, and when you will call this API, then it will not respond. But if I undo it and again save it, and if you call this API from the front end, it will send a status of 200. So you see what happened here, right? You just saw that you didn't have to deploy anything, literally anything. You have to just save it, and that's it. Your logic has been deployed. You have to just call it. You can just call it over here in the Postman or in the front end. So zero time wasted on deployment, right? Just write the logic and that's it. That's how Pelatis platform enables you to develop develop applications in a faster way. So that's it. Uh, that's all. I showed you the how to create the route, the API on the platform, and so let me just delete it. We don't need it, right? We don't need it. So let me show you the actual weather data that we called over here, right? So this get weather data .bto that we are calling in our client policy. So over here you can see router type ms and method get and some description. So I didn't mention the description while I was creating, and now you can see I am calling a npm module request module that you may already know, right? It's out there. If you search the request npm module to call another API from the node.js server, so that's how you do it. So you can see another thing that you can just use any open source plugin on this platform, right? Again, that's a very cool feature that this Lattice platform provides. You can just call this, but we provide this npm plugin inside this ob object because we don't want to expose anything. It's a security feature. So everything, any open source uh, piece of code is always attached to this ob object. So I just pass the URL, I just pass the ID of the location and the date. So it will get the weather results of that location on this day, 14th November 2021, and it will be inside the body object. And I'm just directly parsing this body object and and passing it to the JSON response.json. That's it. So it will be returning this weather data. So the router type is ms and the method is get. That's why over here you can see that I have prepended this ms to this get weather data.bto. So the path is get weather data.bto, and but if you want an API to be secured, right, you can just name it as core, but we won't do core over here because that's not a core platform API. If you want your API to be secured, then you just have to select API and then append v1 over here, right? But one more thing, if we do a router type API, right, so the platform will automatically prepend v1 over here. We don't have to do that. I'm just doing to show you over here. I won't be doing this. So if we do this, so the changes that we have to do in client policy is that we have to just write this above request like this. So method will be get, URL will be API get weather data.bto, v1 get weather data.bto, and headers we have to pass a x access token root scope.token. Now what is this root scope, right? We have to just create another variable const dollar root scope equals obto dot root scopes. Just remove this dollar. So now this root scope is what it is similar to what AngularJS is. I mean, it's exactly the same AngularJS syntax. So root scope is basically we have this root scope dot token that we have to pass to the API, and that's it. So there is no post data, right? So we don't have to do that. And just a little bit of indentation, and if I just cut, and that's it. So that's it. So that's the syntax of calling an API v1 get weather data.bto. I mean API that has a router type of API. And rootscope.token is provided by the platform. We have to just assign it to the header x, and inside this variable x access token, sorry, not the variable, the property x access token, and that's it. That's how you can call an API of router type API. So I'm just gonna undo this because we are calling the ms type API. We don't need this, right? So that's it. So I mean, that's it. That's how an API works on the platform. How this is the way you can create an API on the platform and do whatever you want to do with that API. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can access the database also now and call that call the methods of that database. I mean, how you can access the database and how to all the APIs to to work with that database. I'll be showing you that, and we'll be saving and fetching the weather data from a collection. So collection, if you remember in the video, in one video I showed you that the tables on this platform are called as collections. So we'll be saving some data in the collection. So collection is a terminology of NoSQL databases. So collection is a terminology used by the NoSQL databases. So as we use MongoDB in our platform, so that's why also we use collection as a naming convention for tables. So thanks for watching, guys.